Is LeBron James trying to get Rob Pelinka fired because of the John Wall trade that did not happen? Shout out to all the real Laker fans, not the LeBron fans that are now Laker fans that's claiming to be Laker fans, but the real Laker fans that know what I'm talking about. This man single-handedly came in and destroyed the Laker franchise, right? Oh, how did he destroy the Laker franchise? They got a ring, right? They got the bubble ring, right? Let me tell you how he destroys franchises and why he's getting ready to do the same thing he did to the Cavaliers, to the Miami Heat, to the Cavaliers again, and he's getting ready to do that to the Los Angeles Lakers. But, I mean, who could be shocked, you know? So, peep how LeBron's moving right now. Peep how the guy is moving. All of a sudden, right, there he got GM talks. All of a sudden, he got GM talks. He's talking about Sam Presti, right? Sam Presti, oh, that's a hell of a GM. Sam Presti, oh yeah, that's a hell of a GM. Oh yeah, the way he brought in Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, James Harden, Serge Ibaka, he brought in all those guys, and then he's throwing shots. This is how LeBron move. He does subtle shots, right? So then the next shot is posting the Rams GM with the shirt F them picks. Oh, F them picks, right? Because LeBron James, see what LeBron James wanted to do, and Russell Westbrook, he already knew what was going on. You know, they actually sat Russell Westbrook out and said it was like a back injury, right? They sat him out for a game because it was supposed to be his last game. You know, that's how they was treating it. It was his last game, and he wanted, you know, LeBron wanted him gone. LeBron James right now is done with the Russell Westbrook experience. Is that whatever they call it, the Russell Westbrook experience, the Russell Westbrook whatever, he's done with it. He don't want nothing more to do with the Russell Westbrook anything. So he wanted to trade Russell Westbrook for John Wall. But the Rockets wanted a 2027 first round pick. And Rob Pelinka, Jenny Buss, and the Lakers organization, they weren't willing to do that. So now what we're seeing is, right, this the same thing that happened to Pat Riley. So when you're not giving this guy what he wants, if you're not getting the players that he wants, if you're not having the right coaches that he wants, then he's going to implode. Now look at all these talks in the All-Star game in Cleveland. Oh, yeah, coming back to Cleveland, that's not off the table. Coming back to Cleveland isn't off the table. It's a big possibility, all that type of stuff, man. And then now they say, you know, when his son come in Cleveland, like now it's Cleveland rumors. This is his team pushing it. This is Rich Paul pushing this narrative out, right? This is what happens. Now let's look at why all of those teams are destroyed. Let's look at it. Let's look at the Cavs. And regardless of what anybody said, because he went to the NBA Finals with nobody, and I will give him that. He went to the NBA Finals with nobody in 07? 06, 07. I think Wade won 06, and Bron and them went 07 with the Spurs. So he went 07. The next 2 years, that team dramatically improved. The next 2 years, that team has dramatically improved regardless of what everybody say. Back then, in that era, you didn't have guys teaming up with other superstar guys. You know what I'm saying? Back then, that was still the era of everybody was trying to beat each other. The only team that you had that was remotely like that was Boston, right? And Boston was old. Boston was in their 30s. Boston was 30s, Everybody's at the end of their careers, and they just got together for one last hurrah. And honestly, if it wasn't for Rajon Rondo, that Boston team wouldn't have even won a championship because they went to 7 the first round against the Hawks that first year. Right? So let's cut that. So this is what he does. So okay, Dan Gilbert. So we talk about Dan Gilbert. Dan Gilbert, he gave him Mo Williams, All-Star. He gave him Antoine Jameson. Antoine Jameson was a hell of a player. 22, 23 point per game, hell of a player. Vet, because LeBron never liked playing with the young guys. He never liked playing with the young guys. He wanted to play with the old veterans. He wanted to play with guys that he knows that, like, if you need a shot, you could count on the vet to make the shot. You know what I mean? With the young guy, you might have to coach the young guy up. And that's why he got rid of all of the kids in LA. You know what I'm saying? But we'll talk about that one later. But anyway, so they gave him Mo. They gave him Anton Jameson, right? They gave him Big Shaq. Shaquille O'Neal, regardless of what everybody wants to say, oh, Shaq was at the end of his career. Shaq was washed and done. Shaq was the All-Star MVP. Shaq was the year before, he was the co-All-Star MVP with Kobe Bryant. He made the All-Stars averaging 18 and 8. That don't sound Washington. That sound better than Ilgauskas. That sound better than what they already had. That was an upgrade. That was an upgrade because of what happened that year with the Orlando Magic. Because Dwight Howard was just running loose on the Cavaliers. And they was too big. They was too big. Turkoglu, Rashard Lewis, Dwight Howard. Those guys, they was big. And they had a big lineup. And Dwight Howard was a dog back then. He was a dog. So, Ilgauskas couldn't hang. They brought Shaq in there for the psychological. Because Shaq and Dwight Howard had a little problem. You know what I'm saying? Shaq and Dwight, they didn't really get along. It's the old Superman versus the no, you ain't Superman. You know what I'm saying? So Shaq, that was a hell of a... So let's look at you. Then they added Anthony Parker. So let's look. You got Mo Williams, right? Mo Williams, all-star point guard. You got Anthony Parker, Delonte West coming off the 2. You got Brian James. You got Anton Jameson. And he came in. He only played with him a season and a half. Half a season, I think. He didn't even give that team a chance. And they was best record in Cleveland history to this day. LeBron James, Mo Williams, Shaq, Anton Jameson. And then you had dogs on the bench that played the role. So, when he loses that, and Boston, when they did what they did to him, my bad, y'all had a phone call. So, yeah. So, when Boston did what they did to him, right, as a bunch of old vets, he go to Miami, right? I was one of the first ones that's like, damn, man, like, I felt like you had a chance because you lost your first year in Miami. You know what I mean? He lost his first year in Miami. I felt like if he would have kept that team that he had with Jameson and Shaq in them, they probably would have won one. By the time he won his first one, he probably would have won one because all them teams was old. Magic, the Orlando Magic wasn't really a factor no more. They was dying off. Boston was old, took the easy path. But anyway, so let's look at what happened to Miami. So Miami, they destroyed their entire team. Miami get rid of everybody. They got rid of everybody that was on contract. So then here come LeBron. Bosh was first. So it was D-Wade, Bosh, then LeBron came, even though they all planned it out. So first year, they were struggling, couldn't get it done, right? At the beginning of the season. And they found the rhythm. You know, Dwayne Wade was the leader of the team, but LeBron James can't play off the ball. And that's what Wade had figured out. Oh, this man, he can't play off the ball. Okay. So then that means LeBron, you just do your thing, right? You just do you. And I'll play the backup role. I'll be second in command to you because you play best if you got the ball, because that's the only way you know how to play. AAU style street ball. You know what I mean? So anyway, so let's look what happened. Let's look toward the end. The last year, maybe the last year and a half of his tenure with Miami, right? And I called it back then. I swear, I called it back then that this would be his last season with Miami. This would be his last season. I seen the same look in his eyes was the same when he took his jersey off in Cleveland. I already knew he's gone, you know? Left this team struggling. That game, I don't know if it was game 5 or game 6 of that last finals that they lost to the Spurs. Man, last 6 minutes, go back and watch the tape. Last 6 minutes of the game in the fourth quarter, this man is sitting out. Quit. Gave up. He quit and gave up, right? But the reason why he gave up is because he had beef with Pat Riley. Pat Riley wasn't finna let this man make all the decisions. He wants to make trades. He's putting, his team, he don't say nothing. LeBron don't say nothing. He got people around him that's gonna speak for him. They're gonna put narratives out. And they was LeBron was having problems back then with Mario Chalmers and Norris Cole. He wanted gone. I don't know who he wanted. I'd have to look at who he wanted. But he wanted Norris Cole and Mario Chalmers gone by that trade deadline that last season. And, Pat Riley didn't even give D Wade all those special privileges. Wade got special privileges, but this man, he wants complete control over the franchise, right? Because what his plan is to get all of these guys that he likes on 1-year deals. So you get all these old vets, all these ex-All-Star players or these vets that were major role players on good playoff teams back in the day, and you thrash your young talent, and he gets the guys that are vets, and they all on 1-year deals, right? They're all on 1-year deals. So when he leave, going back to Miami, Wade, toward the end, the last year and a half, Wade's knees just wasn't the same. He wasn't the same ball player. Bosh had that, heart problem. He's gone. He's gone, right? He's gone. He ain't got nothing else he's done. They didn't make that. Pat Riley couldn't make that trade for LeBron James because he's seen this. LeBron, he's a smart dude. He sees Wade ain't the same. Bosh, they didn't really lie. They like Bosh, but it's Bosh. And then he ended up having heart problems. So LeBron James didn't get the trade that he wanted. So he's gone, right? He's gone. Next year, they lose that finals. Perfect. He's out of here. Didn't even try the last game, 6 minutes left, because he already knew what was going on. He already knew he's out of here. All right? And really, if y'all really wanted, he really wanted to go to LA back then. This LA thing was already planned with him. But Kobe was there, and he wasn't, that wasn't gonna work. He wanted to be his own, He wants to be exactly what he is right now. That's what he wants. Right? So him and Pat Riley, then he played Pat Riley like he was gonna re-sign with Pat Riley. He was like, I think he made Pat Riley fly on a plane somewhere to go meet him, and somewhere, and he listened to him, listened to the pitch, but he already made up his mind he was going back home to Cleveland. So when he went home to Cleveland, right? Then it's, everybody, what's the narrative? Oh, he went to Cleveland and turned that franchise around. Like, no. Like, it's not like he's joining these franchises and just because LeBron is on the team, now this team, You put LeBron on the team, and now they a playoff team. They used to be trash, and now they a playoff team. No. He brings at least 5 to 6 guys. Like, he basically brings a whole roster with him everywhere he goes. Everywhere he goes, he brings an entire new roster on the team. So let's see. They got Kyrie an all-star. You got the first round pick. You got a bunch of young talent. You get rid of all your young talent. You get J.R. Smith. You get Iman Shumpert. Yo, guys that you like, right? I think he got Kyle Korver. Ended up getting Kyle Korver on the team, right? Then traded the number 1 draft pick, Andrew Wiggins, for Kevin Love, who was averaging 26 and 12. And regardless of what anybody says about Kevin Love, the man was 26 and 12. 26 and 12, 3-point champion, 30 for 30. 30 for 30. Kevin Love, right? So then what happens with that? Then you see what happens. You know, Kyrie left. Trades wasn't made. And it's messed up. Look how the Cavaliers was left. The Cavaliers is left. They signed Tristan Thompson to that big old deal. Remember, Dan Gilbert, he wanted LeBron James to sign long-term. He wanted LeBron James to be a long-term player. And LeBron said he wasn't going to commit. He wasn't even going to consider committing unless J.R. Smith and Tristan Thompson get them big, ridiculous contracts that they didn't even, we ain't going to say they didn't deserve it, but the Cavs didn't want to give him that much money. And LeBron basically was like, y'all give him this money or I ain't signing long-term. They gave him the money. He never signed long-term anyway, right? So there it goes. So when he leaves, right, and then on top of that, he traded 2 lineups, 2 whole teams in the same year. He ended up getting Dwayne Wade, Derrick Rose, you know what I mean? And if you ask me, that team probably would have won a game in the finals, just because of the veteran experience. But he wanted out of there. To get rid of them guys. He did D Wade so cold. D Wade did not want to go back. Dwayne Wade did not want to go back to Miami because Pat Riley was trying to play him. Pat Riley didn't want to give him the big money. That's why he went to Chicago, because he was like, well, I'm going to go get the money in Chicago. He didn't want Pat Riley to get him for cheap. And LeBron, we're going to send him back home. At least we trade him, we at least send him back home. Wade didn't even know he was being traded. He came there, asked LeBron, he came there, asked LeBron, man, what happened? Oh, I don't know, man. They traded you, man. They traded you back home. That's crazy. Like anything gonna go under LeBron nose. So fast forward, they get Crowder. They get Crowder, Larry Nance. They get all these guys, right? The league pushes them to the finals because they should have lost to Indiana. They shouldn't have called that. That was a goal-10 on Oladipo. Y'all go back and look at that. That was a goal-10. But we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about after this is done, after this team is imploded, he goes to L.A. So when he goes to L.A., what do you have left in Cleveland? You got nothing but a bunch of guys on these bum deals, and all your role players that was on your 1-year contracts, they're gone. Everybody's gone. When he goes, the team goes. And then they're left to pick up the pieces. And then it's like, oh, well, when LeBron leaves the franchise, why do they all of a sudden suck? Well, because his talent that he brought on the team were on 1-year deals. And when he left, they left. Look, let's go to L.A. Now he in L.A. Get rid of the kids. He didn't even try that year. Fake this. I mean, I ain't going to say he faked the injury, but I ain't gonna say he did. I ain't gonna say he faked the injury, but he didn't care about that year. He didn't care about the year with the kids, Alonzo and all of them. Whole crowd, LeBron's gonna trade you. Magic ought to be ashamed of himself. And Magic, they keep talking about Magic and him bringing LeBron on. He wants the credit for bringing LeBron on, but, LeBron already, he was going there regardless. You know what I'm saying? So, fast forward, he get rid of the kids. Matter of fact, when LeBron came on the team, how many people came with LeBron? He changed that whole starting lineup. You had, who came on there? I forgot. About 5, 6 new guys came on that team after LeBron was on the Lakers. That team has changed every year he's been on the team. Then he begged for Anthony Davis. He makes Anthony Davis fire his agent to hire LeBron's agent to bring him on the team. That's crazy. That's crazy, But they want to talk about Kawhi Leonard, but we're not even going to go there. So now we're at a point to where LeBron James has, he wanted Russell Westbrook. Everybody wants to blame Russell Westbrook. No. He wanted Russell Westbrook. They didn't want Russell Westbrook. Ain't nothing wrong with Russell Westbrook. It's just, Russ is who he is, man. He's going to make bad decisions. He's going to make bad decisions, take bad shots. But, at the end of the day, he's a Hall of Fame player. So, you take the good with the bad, and Russ is Russ. Right? You take the good with the bad, Russ is Russ. So, and we're in the mid-boonies right now, by the way. We're in the boonies. So, Russ basically has just been a shell of himself. All this pressure, all this trade talk has really just got to Russ so bad to where in some games he don't even want to play. He don't even want to play like the Russ that we know. He's not taking nights off. He's like scared. He's playing scared. Russ is out there playing scared. And now, because LeBron James wanted John Wall, now all of a sudden, here comes the GM talks. You know what I'm saying? I wish we had the Rams GM. F them picks. But do y'all really think that John Wall will improve the Lakers more than Russell Westbrook? I don't really think so. I don't see what John Wall brings to the table that Russell Westbrook don't. John Wall is a good player, but I just don't see him being more of an impact than Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook, you just have to find a role for that guy. And I think a lot of the problem with them is Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is a guy that, he's soft. You know what I mean? I think you just got to bang. If you bang with Anthony Davis and just bang with him, you know what I mean? Get in his face, bang with him. He likes jump shots, and I don't know why. He should play a lot harder than what he's playing. So, it's not all Russell Westbrook. But now we're about to watch, because the Lakers at this point, they've already given up their future, and they're not trying to give up their 2027 pick. They're not trying to give up no more future for LeBron James. And so the conflict right now is what's going to happen with the Los Angeles Lakers next year. It's going to be a lot of changes. Expect Frank Vogel gone. And expect a change to happen with Rob Pelinka. I think it's either going to come down to Rob Pelinka or LeBron James. And LeBron, to me, has already got his Cleveland backup plan ready for the end of his career. So, it's really just going to be a matter of, what are they, or who are they going to ride with? Are they going to ride with Rob Pelinka? I think Rob Pelinka is good friends with Jeannie Buss. Or are they going to ride with LeBron James? And they've rolled with LeBron James for a long time. So, we don't know exactly what's going to happen. But expect big things. Expect big changes to happen in that Laker organization. And don't be surprised if it's just AD and LeBron is gone. And then what would the Lakers have if LeBron James leaves? What would they have? So, is LeBron James trying to get Rob Pelinka fired? I don't know. And shouts out to Carcino. Shouts out Carcino for life. Carcino for Life really got me. I feel the same way that he feels on these topics. So I've been motivated to at least throw them out there because I've been telling people this for a long time, and now that the NBA seems like they're getting ready to move on from LeBron James. I think the NBA finally is kind of preparing to move on from LeBron. Not all the way. They're not going to move all the way from him, but you know, you can start to see, he don't have it's the end of his run. It's the end of his run. And so we're getting ready to see what's about to happen with this Laker organization. Do not be surprised if they end up with nothing. Don't be surprised if they end up with nothing. So, just checking in. We're gonna do this again. Uh, Let me know what y'all think, man. Do y'all think LeBron James is gonna get rid of Rob Pelinka, or do you think LeBron James is gonna end up leaving the Lakers next year or the year after? When's his contract up? I think is this the last year of his contract, or is it next year? That's something to look up. So let me know what y'all thought, man. Comment, hit the subscribe button. Let me know if y'all want more content like this. It's the kid Coach Shig, you dig? Talking Growth. Get at us on Instagram at the Talking Growth channel. Uh, Man, we're gonna do some more reacting videos, reacting to a lot of the topics out here. Uh, and we just gonna continue to build from there, man. Y'all new YouTube subscribers, shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to the new subscribers and anybody that's just starting their YouTube. Tap in with me. Let's work together. Let's continue to make videos. Let's continue to push content, man. Salute the real, always. Coach Shig, baby, we out.